Hello and welcome back. Now we can finally get started on the Great Western Autocoach here. Now this Autocoach here is made by Hornby, and we'll just take the couplers off first. The bogies, I am not going to try to take those off because it's a bit of a nightmare, but if I remember right, the lip roof can clip off. Now, just got to find a seam in the roof to get a good lever on, and just easily move your way towards one of the clips on the roof line, and soon enough it all begins to lift up. Clip there, and a clip there for the roof. Switch over to the other side. Still gently easing your way with the roof. Oops. Double check to see if you broke anything. If nothing, good, because you're doing better than what I did on that mainline one. Alright, another one here. And that just pops off. Another one there. And there's another one back here somewhere. There we go. Now we just carefully prise it off. She's not fully off over here. Darn it. There we go. And as you can see, we got 3 sets of roof clips. Obviously these have been added on at the factory, because you can tell by the glue that's well aged. Wow. But this is where we're putting our light strip. Now inside the carriage, we can see people have been added, and judging by which, by the looks of it, that's how I can take the body off the. Well, because I never had a tear down of an Autocoach before, I'm not actually going to waste this opportunity. So switch the bits and see if I can actually take the coach in half. Ooh, those are in tight. So these are nice wee screws. Put them in the container, as we do not, and I repeat, do not want to lose them. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because, well, this coach is in need of maintenance, and I figure a light strip in the coach would look cool. Let's just hope I'm right on one of those. Whew. It's a bit of work taking these screws out, because they're really in there. I don't know whether they got big threads or the hole's that tiny. Something's really keeping them screws in. I mean, wow. Because the Pullman coaches I showed on my bullet video, those were very, very well made. Ooh, wow, that's beautiful. Now put that body over there. So this is the underside of an old Hornby Autocoach. So it's got something in common with its modern coach forms. The bogies are clipped in on the inside, and you seriously do not want to try ripping them off from the outside. Bother. Whoops. And wow, I've never seen a weight this type of color before. I mean, that's cool. That is cool. Now, no, those are the wrong ones. I had a certain set of tweezers lying around here that would be of great use at the moment. The bother of having so much stuff on one table sometimes. It's a real pain in the backside. But when it's in arm's reach too long, you get used to it. So here we go. And The only reason I'm taking the bogies off in that is because, hello. Wow. Oh, I see. It's just a pin. These are only. That's a pin. Oh, okay. But yes, I'll place the weight back on the coach frame. There we go. Now, to put the body back on, got to remember which way it is, because the metal buffers are meant to be with the outside here. So, line that up. And though it's a fit right on the frame, I'll use these outside hole loops to help guide me via the toothpicks. It's just to hold the sumbitch in. I know I may have just used some bad language there. Please do not copy whatever I say. I do not want to get in trouble. Now we'll just use these long, less harsh, bit of tip from the other video, tweezers. Just get these center ones in. Now, this is a bit tricky. This is a bit tricky, this. There we go. Now, I took the coach to pieces because I've seen a fair and few Autocoach videos on YouTube, and I figured I might as well at least show what's inside them. Because you never know how makes go, because they change so often these days. Never really big standard, and well, fitting the screws back on. Bother, there's my drink over there. Hang on a sec. Alright, had a good drink. Nice and good. Now, don't worry, it's not alcohol or anything, no. It's just simple cola. I use a Guinness glass because it holds a lot of drink in it. Now this bit's going to be a bit tricky. I don't know what part would be the more trickiest to put the screw back in. The guard's compartment or what's known as the vestibule. Because you got these narrow bits here which are annoying. And all I can say to the owner of this coach before I got my hands on it is, hey, you could have at least painted the inside instead of just fitting people in. But hey, who am I to argue? And I'm just saying this because, well, it's kind of true. Until about a year or so ago, auto coaches on a site like TrainTech, well, they could go from somewhere between 20 to 60 or 80 New Zealand dollars. Now, that is a lot of money just for a coach. Because the way I see it, a going rate for a second-hand coach is at the most $20. $30 if it's a special coach, such as an auto coach here, or an observation car, or a dynamometer coach. Roof's getting straight, so we'll get to work on that now. Now I'm gonna hold it to the roof with blobs of blue tack here. Just gonna plop ends, put two blobs on the ends, one in the center. Thankfully this light board is quite flexible, and hopefully it fits. Now the way I'm going to try and fit this back on is this end goes in the guard compartment and this end goes in the up to the vestibule. Now because it's actually quite an open compartment carriage, and Test fit, see if it fits. Oh no, got it backwards. Because this clip bit here, that's supposed to go with the driver's end, so flip her around, flick it back on. Now just do a test fit. See if you can actually get the dang thing back down. Oh no. As it was like that, which means I could not fit the coach body back on. So I think the only way I can do it is if I bring this forward, and that only opens it up a bit. These slots here are too narrow for the lights panel, and I do fear I may have to do a little modification, which I kind of really don't like doing that much. Hang on. Okay. Ow, banged my knee. Because these are such very good things. I would try something like a craft knife, maybe, but I think if I have them over here, I'm just going to try something very simple, a bit low tech, but hopefully it works. Pair of wire cutters. Just to put a little V groove in these here, just enough so this can fit. Now, just to take a guess of how it will be, yeah. So just to clip off these, but a deep one on the back ones here. So hang on. I'm taking care not to clip too much off, as I really do not want to do prolonged damage. There we go. Now I'm just knocking the offcut onto the board here, so that way I can have a hazard a guess of how I am. Ah, now that is a lot better. That is definitely a lot better. I like that. I really do. Now, for these. I'm going a bit more vertical this end. There we go. Primarily because of how big a gap we need. So, oops, that just dropped to the floor. But, as you can see, I just made the gap a lot wider. So now, we can try fitting it. No. Not quite. Not quite yet. Yeah. Still got a fair bit more to trim, annoyingly. So I'm just going to use the craft knife to mark. I got to trim it. Now I'll leave indentation mark in the plastic for me to clip. Now let's see. Oh blimey. That is quite annoying, that, but has to be done. Now, there we go. Now that's a bit rough in there. Gotta go for file, fix that. Now I have a file over here. That'll do the job. Simple flat one. Just there we go. That's okay. Now for this end, we're just going to go a bit more because it was a bit shallow. So here we go. Straight into my hand. Ow. Now we'll see if the piece fits. And if it doesn't fit, that means a bit more clipping. Oh bugger. Okay. So, in theory, just grab the piece here. Line it up to how you want it. So, put a blob on the end here. And put a blob on the end here. And as for the center, to keep it all balanced out, it's going to have to be quite a big blob of blue tack, about maybe the size of a pea. just in the center of the light panel there, of the roof panel. So we just try and snugly fit that on. Oh, bugger. Now, make that a bit bigger. Put it on the end here. Okay, and see how it fits now. You don't want to force it down, no, just gently ease it down. Because, we go now. Just have a look, see if it fits. Not quite, but close. There we go. Now, there's a bit of noise going on in the background. I'll be back in a tick to sort that out. Very sorry for the interruption, but it's a Friday night. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. The cat was going off about something. Oh well. Now, let's see. Not quite there yet. Now, let's just do a test fit. Okay, so far so good. Bother. And it's not fitting. Darn it. Now, that means I have to prise it open again. But this time I'll use a bit of a wider screw bit. Bit of a wider flathead, I mean. Instead of something that's about the size of a needle. There we go. Just haven't got the size yet. Darn it. This is why test fitting is quite important when you're doing a light strip on a coach. You gotta make sure it fits. And ours, sadly, does not. Which means I have to get a bit more out of the coach. There we go. Oops. And well, I got a piece of the roof structure in here somewhere, lost for all eternity, so a buffer. But I just use this craft knife here to shape the plastic a bit more. Not exactly the best like installation video, I admit, but I have seen far worse. Alright. And now the out piece at least came out. So now I just removed the light strip from the roof here. Do an old bit of blue tack stayed on it. That's kind of funny. There we go. Now we'll just do the light strip on its own because the back and forth with the roof is kind of getting annoying. Alright, now that looks like it'll fit. It's just the guard's head we're worrying about now. Unless I move the light, say, forward. In which case, we seem to have the room, I think. I think we seem to have the room. Fits in the slot there. Okay, for the sake of the guard in that, although this would be a perfect spot for the battery in that, we'll move it up here. We'll move it forward a bit. So, grabbing the battery, which I think I have under here. Okay. We'll just put the light on. There we go. And it will just light up the coach like that, which is quite nice. Okay. Now, just from here, we're gonna get an idea of what it's gonna be like. So, carefully working the light strip. And adjust it a bit just to get those few millimeters we need, and clip it in easily now. And one last and final clip. Alright, now we have two coaches with lights. Get that out of the way. Get my board here out of the way. And now we got two carriages that light up. As we shall see. I mean, look at that. Though the light from the TV is quite bright, here we got a nice tail light that can be seen true in the darkest tunnels. And here we have a nice light up Autocoach. I mean, look at that. You can see the people. That is lovely. See the people. You can see the driver in the darkness of the vestibule. That is nice. That is quite nice. Okay. That is it for this, well, funny Friday workshop. And hopefully I'm not doing anything like this soon. It's a bit chaotic and annoying, but yeah. Well, that's the cola gone. But yes, thank you very much for watching. This is Up and Onwards, signing off and saying good night.